This 8th hour of our show, it goes electric, baby, when you turn it on. Thanks for hanging out with us here in the NFL Network newsroom. I'm Patrick Claybon. This is Championship Wednesday here on NFL Network, and we've had so much coverage, so much great coverage. We're going to recap some of the best spots for you here going up until 6 o'clock Eastern time. We start with the New England Patriots getting ready to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to do so at Gillette Stadium. They had availability at that stadium today. We're going to start with McCourty, the first Patriot up. Let's hear what the Patriots had to say before their game against the Jags on Sunday.
Nobody plays in this game to lose. I understand that. We're out here, we're preparing, we're doing everything that we can to try to win. I'm sure he's doing the same things. Everybody's approach is different. And obviously they have a very confident group, I think, across the board, not just defensively. I know a lot of people are writing about how they're confident defense, but I think across the board, you go out there, you win 2 playoff games on the road, you should be very confident. So we know, they're coming in here, they're going to be physical, they're going to be ready to go and confident. So we got to match that intensity and make some plays of our own.
Me personally, I'm just worried about covering down on kickoffs and punts and doing my job. Coach Coughlin, obviously legendary in this league, but I can only control and worry about the things that pertain to me and my position.
I don't know. I look at the team. It's a strong team. As I said, they're good in every area. And whoever's doing exactly what down there, you have to talk to them about that. I don't know. I just know what I see on the field, and it's a very good product. Sure, they're all contributing to it.
Bill Belichick there. The big news out of New England today, Tom Brady was with the medical staff during the time he was supposed to be there for his availability, so he would not be available to the media today. One guy who's been available in Foxborough, in Gillette Stadium all day for us, that is Randy Moss. Randy, let's talk the big topic of the day, Tom Brady's right hand.
Sure. The injury report heard round the world. I guess we can call it right now, Patrick. The injury report came out about 4:15 or so. It's the first time this season that Brady has been mentioned on an injury report with a hand injury of any kind. Now, you go back to 2010, he had a broken finger on his throwing hand. In 2013, he had some swelling in his throwing hand. Earlier this season, there were 5 different weeks in which he missed a Wednesday practice because of either an Achilles injury or a left shoulder injury. Unspecified, both of those, a little bit mysterious, but this right hand thing, it's the first time we've seen that pop up. Now, in the locker room today, we asked Danny Amendola, did you see Tom Brady out there? Yeah. Did you see anything? No, we didn't see anything at all. Nate Solder, offensive lineman. Yeah, I thought Brady looked great. So maybe this is a whole lot about nothing. We'll find out if Tom Brady talks to the media tomorrow, as he is scheduled to. There is this for Patriots fans. Other than the ACL injury he suffered in 2008, other than the 4-game suspension that he started last season with, since he took over from Drew Bledsoe, the starting job in Week 3 of the 2001 season, Tom Brady has missed 0 games due to injury. So if he's going to miss the Sunday game, the AFC Championship game, it's going to have to be something pretty significant.
That is Randy Moss live in Gillette Stadium. Appreciate your coverage today of that right hand, Randy. Thanks, man. Keeping things going here on Championship Wednesday. There's a practice down in Jacksonville. Blake Bortles and company getting ready to take on the New England Patriots. We start with Doug Marrone. Everybody's trying to find out what's going on about the Jags. Doug Marrone's trying to find out, too.
I still can't figure out our own team. You know what I'm saying? I've said, you guys heard me say that. They're going to do the best job they can. They're going to make sure they're prepared, they're focused, and, they understand, what we're up against. We can't make mistakes. We got to execute.
This game is going to come down to, the mental toughness and grit. When the game's on the line, who could be most disciplined and most focused. I imagine the ball game, coming down to the last drive, and just who's going to grit it out. Who's going to be more tough, in the final moments, and that's championship football.
Do you think being here, standing here, winning a Final Four has any redemption for some of the stuff that people have thrown at you?
I don't think so. Personally, I don't care. I look at it as, it's an incredible opportunity to continue to be able to play football at this time of year. And I think it's pretty awesome and special to be able to, share this with the group of guys that we got in that locker room, because I think everybody knows it's not going to be the same group next year. Guys can go at any time. So I think to kind of enjoy, continuing to play football, obviously, for the longest that we have in a long time, and enjoy it with these guys every single day. We're one of 4 teams that gets to come out and practice, on a Wednesday today, and that's special. I mean, it's something that everybody dreams of, and it's something that everybody works towards. So for us to be able to be here and be in this position, it's pretty awesome.
So they're excited to be in the position. They want to be in the position where they're in Minneapolis in the Super Bowl. To talk about how they're going to do that, Omar Ruiz joining us live from Jacksonville. How's Blake Bortles preparing to take on this Patriots defense?
Well, his preparation, no different. Had a very entertaining press conference like he normally does. Says he hasn't seen the Twitter handle Blake Bortles Facts, but he does appreciate their support, and he has heard about it. He also appreciates the support he's received from the locker room, saying he doesn't care about what anyone else thinks outside of that locker room, and that's really helped him come into and have a focus this week as he had all year. Now, as far as that Patriots defense goes, really an emphasis on red zone. The Patriots come in 5th in the league in scoring defense, 29th in league in yards allowed. Blake Bortles and many of the other players on that offense saying this is a bend but don't break defense. He said what's helped the Jaguars this year, really all year, and they're 2nd in the red zone in that department, Patriots 4th in the league, is getting some momentum, getting some confidence going in that department. Really an emphasis in taking care of the football when they're down there. We talk so much about this defense for the Jaguars, but really, as Blake Bortles has gone, so too have the Jaguars in their 12 wins this season. Blake Bortles has thrown for 18 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. In their 6 losses, 5 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So obviously how Blake Bortles plays on Sunday will go a long way in determining the outcome of this game.
Yeah, Omar, he's been called a lot of things. Jadeveon Clowney called him trash. Bill Belichick called him the trigger man. If he wins this game, we can call him a Super Bowl quarterback. Omar Ruiz live in Jacksonville. Thanks, man. So these are the remaining playoff starting quarterbacks. 4 teams, 4 quarterbacks. Foles, Keenum, and Bortles combined for 5 playoff starts. Tom Brady has 35. 4 playoff wins, Tom Brady has 26. 5 playoff passing touchdowns, Tom Brady has 66. And 0 Super Bowl wins. Although Blake Bortles does have 1 media availability today, Tom Brady has 0. We've got availability with our Super Bowl winner and Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner, joining us now. Blake Bortles there, kind of deflecting a few of the questions about criticism, how people have felt about his play. How do you feel like Blake Bortles is going to handle not just the pressure of playing in the AFC Championship game, Kurt, but the pressure that a Belichick defense brings?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think he's doing a great job right now. He is one of the 4 teams that are playing, one of the 4 quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks that are playing this weekend, and that's how you earn respect in this business. And you keep winning at playoff time, and obviously a great test and a great opportunity for him. But it's always a challenge when you play against Bill Belichick. And the challenge is that, almost every week they change up what they do. Oftentimes offenses will change their game plan weekly and throw different things at the defenses, where defenses are more kind of stand pat and do what they do. Well, Bill Belichick, what you saw on film last week may not be anything close to what you see this week. And so the big challenge is being able to recognize what that is early while having success and being able to make those adjustments or be ready for that as you go through the game. But not an easy thing. The hope is there that they can run the football and play good defense, so he has a chance to acclimate to some of those changes that I'm sure the Patriots will have.
Yeah, and that Belichick game plan is something that gets a lot of discussion. Obviously, we talk about it. Does everybody handle that the same way? Can you get caught up too much in preparing to face a Patriots team and the changes they're going to make? How do the Jags deal with the Belichick game plan?
Well, I think that's it, is you can get so caught up in what they did last week or what they did the last time you played them, whereas you get to the game and it's completely different. So I think the focus has to be on do what you do, but also have an answer for everything. You have to be ready for what may happen. He may try to double a certain guy in certain situations. You got to be ready for that and be able to go to your second and third guys. You got to be able to handle if they're going to come out and throw some kind of defense at you to stop the run. You have to be able to take advantage of those things. And so to recognize that and have something ready to attack that is always the key. If you've got a game plan and you go in and he takes that away and you don't really know what to do, those are the teams that struggle and that the Patriots beat on a consistent basis.
Looking to what the Steelers were able to do against the Jags, Kurt, we saw Le'Veon Bell make a catch with Telvin Smith draped all over him. We saw the tremendous catch from Antonio Brown. Did the Patriots need to take deep shots against the Jags, or is that something that they want to avoid altogether?
I mean, I don't think you avoid it, but I don't think you go in saying we have to do it either. Nobody's better at playing kind of what we term small ball than New England. You know, Tom Brady is patient, probably the most patient quarterback in the league, that's willing to take what you give them. He doesn't force things down the field just because he gets impatient and feels like they need a big play. So I think you go into this game against a really good defense, and you have to take the approach, be efficient, don't turn the ball over, and take what they give me. Take what they give me. Because you try to take chances against those two corners or against a team that can rush the passer, that's when negative plays happen. And the Patriots are very good at not doing that. Tom Brady's very good at not doing that. So I don't think you're going to see him force a lot of things down the field unless you put their backs to the wall and you get up on them early and you put a little pressure on them. And then that changes for every team and for every quarterback.
Yeah, certainly the Jags would like to put the Patriots and Brady in that situation. Kirk, moving over to the NFC, we heard a chance to hear from Nick Foles today, comparing the Vikings defense and the Falcons defense. Said the Vikings weren't going to allow as much underneath as Atlanta did. Foles made a killing against Atlanta during that. How do you feel about his chances going up against Minnesota?
Well, I mean, I do agree with Nick Foles is that the primary defense that Atlanta plays is very similar to the primary defense that Minnesota plays. But, there's a couple areas that it's different. Minnesota rushes the passer better. They get there quicker than Atlanta does on a consistent basis. That always makes it harder on a quarterback. The linebackers, although very athletic for Atlanta, they don't quite have the discipline. They haven't been around as long, and so you're going to see greater discipline with the Minnesota guys, so you have to be even more efficient. And then the last thing is the physicality in the secondary, is that nobody is more physical in the secondary than the corners and safeties of the Minnesota Vikings. And so although they're going to look similar in scheme, you still have to be better and more efficient against this Minnesota team than that good young Atlanta team, just because they're better across the board right now than Atlanta's defense.
Challenges at every level, a guy who's attained every level in the NFL. Kurt Warner, live here on NFL Network. Appreciate it, guys. When we return on Championship Wednesday, Case Keenum and Nick Foles shared a quarterback room back in 2015. Now they will face off in the NFC Championship game. We'll hear from them both coming up, and we will not hear from Todd Haley as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. His contract will not be extended. We'll have more on this from our boardroom coming up as Championship Wednesday continues.